gosh, to come on, laughing, it's gotta been a good week, Kathy.
Absolutely. Hello there, Jeanette. How are you doing?
Oh, Kathy, my cup runneth over and over and over to make space for more things to pour, these incredible opportunities to pour into me so I can pour it back out again. It's just amazing on how we fill our cup up with what we need in order to go throughout our day, our week, our year, our life. And like this week, from a couple of different speaking gigs that I've had about emojis are real people too, like people that hide behind their emojis out there, to judgment, to a preconceived judgment that was blown out of the water for me yesterday at NightShift Street Ministries. So it's been,
and you volunteer there every Wednesday, right?
The third Wednesday of the month.
First Wednesday of every month.
Since 2015.
Wow, good for you.
Yeah. And yesterday, as I was sharing before we came on, my favorite 6 words in the whole entire language, any language out there, please, thank you, and you're welcome. And I was standing at the door, and there was a moment of silence. It was the weirdest moment, and profound. There was a moment of nobody else. I couldn't hear anybody else. And we served about 104, 105 people last night. So we had quite a beautiful service last night. And there was a fellow probably about 3 feet away from me, sitting on the cement, leaning against the building. Beautiful, beautiful black eyes, black hair, beautiful skin. Looked over to me and says, "Thank you for all you do." And in that moment, I felt like, wow. There was also a small moment of, does he really mean it? Because what does he have to be thankful for? And that's what I was saying about that moment of judgment. Then I looked over, I get tingles just thinking about it, and looked over and joined his moment of gratitude. And said, "You just said 2 of my favorite words." And he smiled. And I said, the world needs to hear that a lot more. And then he came back with another thank you.
And you both were speaking from the heart.
Yeah. Speaking from where we are, not from our homes, not from our riches, not from our travels, not from our experience, but from the heart in that moment.
The here and now, right? Being incredibly present. And that's where that moment of silence comes in. It's because we were both tuned in the moment, and being present in that moment, synchronized together. Yeah.
And the people that come through, and the thank yous for a sandwich, a pastry, a cup of coffee. Thank you. My thank you bank is nice and full. So I'm going to go give a lot of thank yous out from the heart too. What's been going on in your week this past week, Kathy?
Well, it's been interesting as always. My life is never dull. And that's a good thing. I think dull lives are boring.
So are knives in the kitchen.
Yeah, exactly. But I had the pleasure of celebrating a 3rd anniversary of podcasts with a very good friend of mine, and Diane Rolston. And we were talking about just what kind of qualities we look for to surround ourselves with dynamic women, ultimately, because that's what she does, is the dynamic women piece. But I know that what has changed my modality of living from day to day, because it's been a rough year and a half, is literally removing judgment of others, judgment of things, judgment of objects. And it's harder to do than you realize, but because I'm being intentional with that removal of it, I don't have a problem with understanding and seeing people or seeing things in the moment and being grateful for it intentionally, right? It was sort of like, I'll give maybe not a good example, but just recently, a couple hours ago. I was in rehearsal with my kids and it wasn't going well. And I'm looking around and you could just see the scatter of energy throughout the whole classroom. Like it was just ding, 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 and people coming in late because they just had an exam to write, and da, 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 da. And I just stopped and my brain's going, okay, no judgment, no judgment. But my job as a leader is to find a solution to it. So I stopped the whole rehearsal and I just said in a nice, calm, quiet, caring voice. And that's the ultimate thing here, folks, is caring. Do you care? I said, I don't want an answer from you, but do you care? Do you care about this ensemble? Do you care about yourself? Do you care about the influence you have on people around you? Do you care in this moment? Or are you still thinking about what happened an hour ago that you can't change? Do you care? And holy cow, then they played again and it was like, now why didn't you do that in the first place?
Because they needed Kathy wisdom. That's what they needed in that moment.
It was that moment I'm realizing, don't pass judgment. Remove that judgment from other people. So you with working at night shift, it's so easy to have judgment from where do you come from? Why are you in this situation? You know, I wish I could fix you. That's even a form of judgment, right? Well, maybe they don't need fixing. Maybe they are just fine in this moment the way they are. And just for them to be recognized in the moment that they're a human being and I care.
Yeah.
Is that the ultimateness of kindness?
Oh, that's beautiful. Much like I came up with the definition of between gratitude and appreciation is the definition of hope. You just said that's so beautifully.
Thank you.
Yeah, you found those words to stream together, that caring and that judgment, because it's so true. Yeah. We so are connected to story, and thank goodness we are, and that we're connected to each other's story. However, it's not us to look at somebody and put the thought bubble of their story above their head versus going, hi, how are you, what's going on in your life? How, like, thank you for coming today. We made you a beautiful meal. I'm so excited. I'm the mom that made the soup tonight, as I do. That's my jam, making soup.
Yeah.
And I put the love in it tonight. And I put the love in the coffee because I made the mocha tonight too. And they just give you that smile. And in that moment, I often say we seat the tiny little good pins.
Yeah.
In each other. So we have a reference to go back to. Okay, I'm not having a very good day. Oh, when I sat down and had a beautiful coffee with Kathy the other day, that was so good. To have that point to come back to.
And this is why one of the strategies out there that we've been taught by our guest speakers is keeping a gratitude journal or a gratitude jar, right? And I think I'm going to start a jar with epiphanies, care.
Ooh.
Right? Care. Right. And then maybe let go of judgment. And that's key. It's let go. It's not no judgment. It's let go of judgment. We naturally judge all the time. It's human nature, right? Animals do it. We're animals. Yeah. They all do it, right? But letting go of it, I think, holy cow, I'm going to be digging deeper into this one. I really am.
Yeah,
because
I can sense that in you.
A lot of unpacking to do with getting rid of the past. You can't change the past. You can't change the future. You can only change the now. So how are you receiving the now? Yeah. Wow.
I know. It's just beautiful when the word seed. I came up with a bit of a quote. I said, we are here to learn the lessons, to put it into action to get our own individual results, and to hold compassion while others are doing the same.
Yeah, in their own way.
Right.
Yeah.
I just got a tingle. I love when we give each other tingles. It means, to me, that's the divine saying, girl, you got it. It's like your cell. It's almost like your cells rejig that. Okay, we're getting you right inside with these tingles.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Kathy, we could talk about this for like
We really could.
forever.
We really could. So those of you watching tonight, I encourage you to, when you have a moment of angst, to have judgment on something or someone, remove yourself, take a breath and throw it away, remove it, and then take in how you feel by removing it. Right. And I tell you, that's the next step from kindness in my books right now. Yes, we need more kindness in the world, but we need a world with no judgment. Holy cow. Like, can you imagine people getting along just for being who we are as individuals? And I'm talking about good. I'm talking about the good. I'm talking about the grateful and the appreciative, not the gimme. Okay. It's giving to others, serving others. I think we're put on this planet to serve others. We're not here to serve ourselves. We're here to serve
just think,
others.
Kathy, think about it like this. If I serve you and you serve me, I don't need to be a gimme.
No.
Because you're serving me.
Thus thankful Thursdays.
Oh,
all right. How many hearts tonight, my dear?
You know what? Let's do a trifecta. Let's do a trifecta of 3 today, because we're sending out and pushing some kindness on the judgment. We're putting some kindness on preconceived stories. We're putting some kindness, just pushing an extra little push out to both of those things, so we can see caring deep in our hearts.
Sounds good.
Pumping 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Kindness out to the world.
Thanks for joining us. We have a guest next week. Looking forward to seeing you all. Have a great evening. And remember, say thank you in a heartfelt way and realize how it makes you feel and the other person feel. Have a good night, everybody.
Bye-bye, everybody.